So we had the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Tampa Bay to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is a Monday night showdown. This is your Week 3 2023 prediction and preview video. Hit subscribe button if you're new. Also hit the like button. This right here is a put up or shut up game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's basically a prove yourself game, because a lot of people are saying that this team hasn't faced any competition by beating the Chicago Bears and beating the Minnesota Vikings. So this is a way for Baker Mayfield to come out and shut everybody up. Baker Mayfield's been playing very good football so far with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and this is the team I want to start with because they are the home team. They're 2-0. They beat the Minnesota Vikings in a very good way. They won the game 20-17. They forced 3 turnovers from Kirk Cousins alone in that game. And then they came out against the Chicago Bears. Justin Fields threw 2 interceptions. He also had a fumble as well in that game. And Shaquille Barrett continues to be a beast with this team. This defense is very good. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to have a tough time trying to toss this front 7 around. And that's what I want to start off with is their defense. Their defense has to come out and try to stop the run as much as possible, because the Philadelphia Eagles, they just ran the football down the Minnesota Vikings' throat. DeAndre Swift had 175 rushing yards. So the first key to victory, guys like Vita Vea, Shaquille Barrett, Joe Tyron, Devin White, and Levante David have to pay attention to the run and the physicality of the Philadelphia Eagles, because the Philadelphia Eagles are still one of the best teams in the NFL. They have to go out and try to stop that run and do not give Jalen Hurts that much time in the pocket, and be on the lookout for Jalen Hurts as well when he's running inside and outside the pocket. The problem is with Jalen Hurts, when he gets an open field, that's a legit power back. So you have to be careful with that as well. You can contain this offense, and I trust Todd Bowles to come out and try to do that. They may come out and try to blitz Jalen Hurts and stop some of those RPOs that this team runs, but you're going to be compromising some things here. That means the cornerbacks in the team are going to have to step up. And guys like Jamel Dean have stepped up with this team, and D. Delaney as well. Carlton Davis was out last week against the Chicago Bears. He is questionable for this game. My biggest thing is this. Be careful when you send in those blitzes, Todd Bowles, because Devontae Smith can beat you deep. And A.J. Brown was throwing the fit last week because he wanted the football and he wanted to make plays. Those are 2 not just good wide receivers. Those are 2 great wide receivers. So you have to be on the lookout for that as well. I really trust Devin White to have a very good game against Dallas Goedert, even though Dallas Goedert is a very good tight end. He can match up with him very well, so it's going to be a very good matchup to pay attention to. I still love Levante David as a tackle machine. You have good players on the defensive side of the ball, but do not get overly aggressive and try to stop the run as much as possible of the Philadelphia Eagles. Now let's talk about this offense with Baker Mayfield. They've played very good so far. Baker Mayfield hasn't turned the football over. He's been playing very clean and good football. They struggled to run the ball week 1 against the Minnesota Vikings, but they found a way to run the football in a better way against the Chicago Bears in week 2. I'm looking at a guy like Rachaad White to try to make plays in the pass game as well. Last week he did have 17 carries for 73 yards. That's 4 yards a carry and 1 touchdown. Still try to run the football against this front. It is going to be tough because it is the Philadelphia Eagles defense and it is their front 7, but you may be able to get some things going in open space. But start off with some screens and try to alleviate some of that pressure off of Baker Mayfield. One thing about Baker Mayfield, you give him a clean pocket. We've seen the first 2 weeks. You give Baker Mayfield a clean pocket, he can read the defenses. Get the ball to Mike Evans, who's been one of the best wide receivers since he stepped foot on the field. Even when he was a rookie, he's at 1,000 yards in every single season of his career. Get him the football early and often, but you do want to pay attention to Darius Slay because he is still one of the best corners in the NFL. I look at this as a game to where Baker Mayfield can go from Mike Evans to Chris Godwin as well. The Philadelphia Eagles defense is insane, but you can find ways to try to slow them down and neutralize them as well. Try to neutralize that front 7, that pressure that they're going to come with. Just basically slow the game down and play the pace to Baker Mayfield. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers can be in this game. That is one thing. I know a lot of people are sleeping on them right now, but they can definitely be in this game. So the Buccaneers have to protect Baker Mayfield. Do not turn the football over. Do not give Jalen Hurts multiple chances to go out there and kill you on the field. Protect the football, protect Baker Mayfield, and try to slow down that offense as much as possible by stopping that run game. Those are the keys of victory for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. They're 2-0. And they look good doing it. I know they came out a little slow against New England Patriots, but as the game progressed and went on, they started to look real good. And against the Minnesota Vikings, for the first half of that game, they were beating them bad. And they controlled that game too. They manhandled them up front. 175 rushing yards for DeAndre Swift on the day. They ran the football. You know Jalen Hurts got to get his in too. This is a very good football team. I don't know if they can manhandle the front seven of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because they're so good, but I still think they'll have some rushing success against this team. Get Jalen Hurts moving, get him on the run, get him comfortable in this game because they're going to try to come out and blitz him. And Jalen Hurts is a very good quarterback against the blitz. And you have some toys for him to play with as well. And guys like Devontae Smith, who had a crazy game last week and made the Minnesota Vikings realize maybe running press coverage isn't the best thing to do. So continue to target Devontae Smith deep and give him chances and give him opportunities. It's a reason that he was a first-round pick, and it's a reason why he gets the hype that he deserves. Amazing route runner, but has a lot of speed as well. Had 4 catches for 131 yards last week and 1 touchdown. That's just insane. And had a 63-yard catch as well that went for a touchdown. A.J. Brown, get him the football more. Last week, he had 4 catches for only 29 yards. Get him going deep as well. Just get him into a happy place. I know it wasn't a big deal with him going at Jalen Hurts on the sideline, but just get him a few targets to make him feel like he's still included. This is a guy last season that busted to the scene to being one of the true best wide receivers in the game. Just try to get your playmakers the ball. Same with Dallas Goedert as well. Dallas Goedert last week had 6 catches for 22 yards. The reason why these wide receivers weren't eating as much is because of the run success. Do not, and I repeat this, do not go away from the run if it is working. If it's working, stick with it. Get Jalen Hurts some run opportunities. Do the same with DeAndre Swift as well. Don't alleviate from your game plan, but at the same time, keep guys happy like A.J. Brown. This offense, protect Jalen Hurts, try to run the football, work off of play action, and get that ball out to some of the best targets in the NFL. Their defense is headhunting season, baby. It's time to go out there and put pressure on Baker Mayfield. He hasn't dealt with pressure like this in quite some time. I'm looking at guys like Brandon Graham, who is still amazing. Jordan Davis, who is still very good and young into his career. He's early in his career, but he's still very good and can be rated as a top defensive tackle right now. Jalen Carter, the rookie, and Fletcher Cox, who still has a lot of juice left in the tank as well. I'm looking at all these guys on the defensive line to go and get Baker Mayfield, put pressure on him. Same with Josh Sweat as well. I have no doubt that the Philadelphia Eagles defensive line tend to go out there and do their thing, but you have to put a lot of pressure on Baker Mayfield, make him beat you, take the run away from him, and then those guys in the secondary will have to come up and make some big plays for you. Last week, James Bradberry did miss the game against the Minnesota Vikings. He is on pace to possibly play in this game, but you still have some good players behind him as well. I like Josh Jobe at that cornerback position. Darius Slayton played a very good game. Darius Slay is still one of the best corners in the game, so their secondary wasn't over-compromised against the Minnesota Vikings. And Justin Evans proved that he's a good safety as well with this team last week. He does have a lot to improve on. They're young at certain parts of this defense, but I'm looking at some guys in the secondary make some big plays. Mike Evans can get you, and I'm very assuming that Darius Slay's going to see that matchup more than anyone else on this team, even if James Bradberry is able to go. Like I said, he missed last week. He is questionable for this game, but I'm looking at certain situations here. Even to run the blitz, if he's one-on-one, Darius Slay has to come up big. He's played very good so far. I think that he can come out and have another good game against Mike Evans, but it is going to be tough. This is a very good matchup. I have the Philadelphia Eagles winning this game 28-24. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be a defensive matchup. There's going to be some few explosive plays as well. But let me know who you have winning in the comment section below, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Philadelphia Eagles. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last guy stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Peace.